if I can just ask you to keep yourselves muted until the presentations are over, and then we'll have our question and answer session. And so I'm going to begin. So as I said, today's session is with financial aid and student accounts with Cheryl Weisner and Chelsea Lake. There's just a couple of things that we want to do here at the Wong Center. Just some reminders about what you should do before arriving, and that's register for your courses if you haven't done so already. Register for your residence. Make sure you have confirmed housing, whether on or off campus, before arriving. It's very beneficial and helpful to attend all these pre-arrival sessions because they cover every aspect of university life. And if you haven't done so already, please apply for your study permit. We do have free airport service happening on August 26th, 27th, 28th. And we have set times over those days, 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 11 p.m. And the sign up for airport pickup service is now live, and it's on our web page. And if you click on this link, it doesn't seem to want to go. And yeah, there we are. There we are. That's the fall 2024 arrivals information, and you can go through here and put in all of your information and your flight information and what date you're arriving and the time you would like to get the bus. And we will ensure that you're picked up at the time that you've chosen. Any questions, you can always email the international@acadiau.ca email address, and one of our staff will get back to you. It's also important to download the iSent app. You should have received some information on that already. If you're unable to make the pickup service at the airport, make sure you have transportation to the university. There is a possible contact you could use is World Class Limousine Services. The university uses them and they're very reliable. Another thing that we strongly encourage is the use of the ACORN pre-arrival guide. It's an interactive tool and you can connect with your peers. It talks about coming to Canada and what to expect, your arrival at Acadia, student services, living in Wolfville, health and wellness. And the great thing about the pre-arrival guide, other than all that information, is students who complete the course by October 1st will be entered into a draw to win one of 3 prizes. The first prize is $1,000 towards your tuition for the fall semester. And the second and third prize will be grocery gift cards worth $100 each. Here's some information on the iSent app and how to go about logging in. And the iSent app is a very beneficial tool. It covers all kinds of communications and user engagement and support services here at the university. And you can download this app on the Play Store, and it's available for Android and Apple. Another thing to do is to remember to follow us on Instagram at Acadia International Center. This is where we post a lot of information, including all our events that are happening all through the academic year and the spring and summer. And then we just have some important links here. The Wong Center has a YouTube channel, and we post all of our pre-arrival sessions. They're going to be uploaded on this channel. Our email address again is international@acadiau.ca for questions and help. If you go to our International Arrival and Orientation webpage, there's a link here that you can follow. It will take you to all the information we have so far on arrival and orientation, including your dates, the dates you can move into residence, the free airport pickup and the times, and again, the link right here under important links for airport pickup. Our next pre-arrival session is June 26th with the Acadia Students Health and Union, Acadia Students Union, and a representative from the health plan. And with that, I'm done here, and I'm going to turn it over to Chelsea and Cheryl.
Okay. Sounds good. Cheryl, I can go through my slides first. if that works.
That works for me.
Okay. Okay. So as you all are aware, this is an information session, and this portion is going to be about the Student Accounts Office. So that's where I work. The manager here is Moira Kroll. She is actually retiring at the end of August, so we're not sure whose name is going to be up there come September. And myself, Chelsea Lake, works here along with Donna Doucette and Cameron Rayfuse. So what we do in student accounts is process and manage all the student financial transactions related to their time here at Acadia. So pretty much any tuition or fees related to your degree are going to show up on our side of things, and including like residence and meal plan, all that stuff is going to be through our office. So there's our email there, student.accounts@acadiau.ca. That is the best place to reach us. And then there's also financial-services@acadiau.ca. Don't really need to use that one as much, but it is there. You can look up the financial services webpage on Acadia's website. And if you need to get in contact with them for anything, that is the email to use. Our hours, so Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. We are typically located at University Hall, which is 15 University Avenue in the basement level. But for the summer, we're actually temporarily relocated to the Tech Services Help Desk in the Beveridge Arts Center. So if you happen to be here sometime over the summer, we are going to be at the Beveridge Arts Center, not University Hall. But come September, we're hoping to be back at University Hall, and that's where you can find us. So know your costs. You can go to our website and look for tuition, student fees, residence, and meal plans. So I'm just going to see if I can go in here. Okay, so this page is really useful. You can pick the program you're taking. So it's probably going to be undergraduate. And then you can select that you're international. And here it gives you pretty much all the fees except your residence and meal plan. And this is for 2 terms, okay? So this is September to April. So half of this will be for your September to December term 1. And this is based on a full-time course load. So that's 4 to 6 courses. And then on this webpage, they also have a link to the residence fees and the meal plan fees, information about insurance. So this one is really useful. You can just go on Google and type in Acadia University tuition and fees, and it'll bring you to this page. Okay, and then the next one, it's just the residence and housing. That link was there on the last web page, but if you go in, it has all the buildings and each type of room that are in the buildings. And again, this is for 2 terms or the whole year. So half of that will be your first term fees. Oops. And then, of course, we just like to remind everyone to not forget all the other expenses that go along with it, such as books, any equipment you might need, a laptop, if you want any spending money while you're here, cell phone costs. And then if you're living off campus, these are just a few things that we like to remind students to think about. Of course, rent. Are you in an 8 or 12-month lease? Just so you're prepared. Groceries, of course. We do have commuter meal plans. So those are for students living off campus, and it kind of just allows you to stop into Meal Hall and eat there. I think you get meals for 5 days of the week rather than 7. And then utilities, I know here it's a pretty mixed bag on whether your utilities are included in your rent or not. So that's just another thing to kind of prepare yourself for if you're living off campus. Again, commuting, if you're going to be traveling to and from campus, you'll want to consider gas or bus pass or whatever mode of transportation you're using. And then, of course, most landlords do require you have rental insurance, so just something else to keep in mind when you're preparing. So these are what you will be charged during your time here. This first list is all mandatory fees for full-time students. So you have to pay each of these fees. So tuition, of course, and then we have the athletic and health services fee, technology fee, student union fees, a medical and dental plan. You can opt out of medical and dental, but you'd have to have alternative insurance. So I think it's like the first month of the term is your opt-out window. It has to be done during the first month, and you have to provide proof of your alternate insurance. And then the access fee, which kind of gives you things access to things like the internet and any other kind of network things that we have here. So all of this together is approximately $12,000 a term, and that does not include your residence or your meal plan. Those are typically together $7,000 to $9,000 a term, depending on which room you pick. Please note, when you got your offer letter, there would have been an amount stated there. These are estimates based on last year's fees, because we don't actually get the fees for the upcoming year until the summertime, and they do increase each year, each fall. So yeah, the amounts on your offer letter are a good estimate, but just be prepared to spend a little more than that. Yeah, so they are subject to change, and you should see tuition and fees added to your account by August 31st. The only fees that sometimes are a little late getting added is just the insurance and the room and meals, just because that is a residence life office who process all of the room and meal plans. So sometimes those are just a little slower getting added to your student account. So this is really important when the payments are due. So for the full year, your fees are split 50-50 between fall and winter. As I mentioned before, those values that we saw online are doubled, so only half is due in September. They are due on the first day of classes each term. I believe this upcoming year, the first day is September 4th, I think. So your fees have to be paid in full on or before that date. And accounts that are not paid are subject to things like late fees, interest, potential deregistration. So it's really important that you get those paid by the first day of classes. And then for winter, again, it'll be the first day of classes in January. That being said, you are allowed to pay beforehand. Like if you're all admitted and have like a colleague account set up already, you can start sending your payment anytime now, between now and the first day of classes. So these are a few ways on how to make your payment. The easiest way for international students that we have available is called Convera Global Pay for students. So if you go to this, if you just type in Acadia University how to pay, it'll bring you to a link for international students, and Convera is linked right there. We find that's the best way. If you can't use Convera or you don't want to use Convera, you can just do an international wire transfer. Again, if you go to that how to pay website, it'll have all of our banking information there as well that you can use to send a wire. If you are sending a wire or even through Convera, please allow for at least 72 hours for your payment to be received. Sometimes it can even take a week, just depending on what country it's coming from. So if you do send a payment and you don't see it on your student account right away or even in the first week, don't be alarmed. It's likely just processing. I would say if it's been 2 weeks and you still don't see your payment, then you could reach out to us and we can investigate further. So important dates, of course, these change each year, but the academic calendar for the upcoming year is available now on the Acadia website. So if you just type Acadia University academic calendar, you'll find it there. And it's got really important dates regarding withdrawals and adding and dropping classes. So there are certain dates, if you're going to drop a class or change your registration at all, there are certain dates that it needs to be done by for it not to have a financial repercussion. So if you do it after these dates that are listed on the academic calendar, you could end up paying for some things. So just be cognizant of the dates that you're making adjustments to your registration. So where you can check all your financial information is on your My Acadia Student Finance Self-Service. So again, if you just go online and type in Acadia University, My Acadia, you can click through until you see the finance section. You'll always be able to view this webpage. It shows everything you've been charged, all your receipts and payments, deposits you've made, and pretty much any other financial thing that'll be going on with your account, you can view here on your My Acadia Student Finance Self-Service. This is what it looks like when you log in. So it gives you an account overview. You can see a little calculation there, just totaling your account. But down below is the more important section. So as you can see, there's some terms listed there. You guys will see 2024 fall, and then 2025 winter. And you can click right into the term, and it'll show you all those things that I mentioned on the last slide, like your tuition charges. Here, I'll go to the next slide. See, once you click into a term, it shows you here. You can click all these drop downs. If you click tuition, it'll show you like each course that you're in right here. So it tells you the course code, the title, how many credits it is. It even has some scheduling on here, your professor, and the status. But I'll just go back one. So yeah, you can see your tech fee, your athletic health services fee, your student union fee. Your insurance fees are going to appear under that student union fee dropdown as well. So if you're on here and you don't see your insurance, just check the student union fee section, and that's where it will show up. Okay. And then of course there is so much more information than what I've put together here. You can always ask for advice. As mentioned at the beginning of this session, the Wong International Student Office is a great resource. Their social media has tons of stuff on there. You should definitely find out who your academic advisor is. You can do that. Just go on the Acadia website or go to Google and type in Acadia University Academic Advisors, and you can find yours based on your program or your department. They are great if you're just trying to plan out your courses and decide kind of which route you want to take. Of course, the financial aid office, which Cheryl will get into as soon as I'm finished here, they are also a great resource. The registrar's office is great for any academic information, which is different from academic advising. They cannot tell you what you should be taking, but they can tell you what you're allowed to take, what you're not allowed to take, and how many credits you should be taking, and things like that. And then, of course, our office, student accounts, for any financial information, we're always available. Really good to email us, or you can call us. Our number is on the university website, or you can stop by in person. I think that is everything. Yeah, so hopefully that was useful. I know it was a little quick, but if you have any questions at the end, I'd be more than happy to answer.
All right, I'm going to share my screen now. Hopefully everyone can see that okay.
Yep, looks good.
Perfect. So I'm Cheryl Weisner. I'm in the Scholarship and Financial Aid Office. My coworkers are Kim Rhymes, who's my manager, and Candace Bird. And we all work together to get everything added to systems and any questions answered that students have. Basically, today I'm going to talk about academic scholarships, awards, and bursaries. Academic scholarships, they have a minimum GPA of 3.5, and international students are eligible for all of our scholarships, awards, and bursaries, just like every other student. So entrance scholarships, if anybody has received them, they would have been on their offer letters that they received through their portal. And for students starting in September, they'll be added in August. And if anybody's not starting until January, then those will be added in December. And until the first week of classes, they show as anticipated. So if you look at your account that Chelsea just showed you earlier, there will be a section where it'll say financial aid. So if your scholarships are listed there and they say anticipated, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just we're not far enough in the term for them to be applied yet. To maintain your scholarship, you need to be registered in at least 12 credit hours. That's typically 4 courses, but some departments, like such as kinesiology and music, not all of their courses are 3 credit hours. So we just tell students to make sure they're in the 12 credit hours, whether that could be 4 courses, that could be 6 courses, depending on your program. If you're enrolled in 3 courses or 9 credit hours, you can request permission from your dean to maintain your scholarships. If you're not enrolled in these, we will reach out. We're not going to just automatically take them away. We want students to keep their scholarships, so we're going to try and work with you so that you can keep your scholarships. To renew a scholarship, you need to keep at least a 3.5 in your first year and then a 3.67 in all your next years, so second, third, and fourth. And again, if you don't meet these requirements, we will give students an opportunity to appeal, where you can just kind of reach out and explain to us why you didn't meet the academic requirement, and then we will review and let you know about your scholarship after that. Those usually go out in June. And we email all current students 2 applications that they can apply. If you're here in the fall, you'll get that in September, but if you're here for the winter, that'll go out in January as well. The final deadline for them is January 31st, but we will have a first deadline in October for students who are here fall term. So academic awards. The minimum GPA to be considered for an award is a 2.0. And again, like I said before, international students are eligible to apply for all of these. So we'll email students the current application in early September. I'll show you later on, there's a slide where I'll show you a sample of the email, and you can see where you click to access the applications. Successful recipients will be notified by email for these academic awards. Now, we also have bursaries, and these are really based on financial need. There's no minimum GPA for them, and like the other ones, we'll send the first email in September with an October deadline, and then send the second one in January with a January 31st deadline. Now, these with the bursaries, we will notify every student and let them know whether they qualify or not, and we will also hold in-person information sessions at the Wong Center, and we'll get those dates to you guys later. And also at any time, like if you want help with these, you can email us, set up an appointment, like through Teams, in person, or on phone. This is just an example of the bursaries. So this is from our website. If you look up on the Acadia U website for scholarships and financial aid and then go under bursaries, right here is where you would access that application once it's opened. And this is just to show you what it would look like. So you'd put in your username, citizenship, and this is basically, it's whether you're dependent or independent. So if you have family helping you or not, and if you have children. And this is a sample email. This is based on last year's. So here, if you want to get to the awards application, you would click on this link. And then the bursary application that I just showed you before is this one. And again, down here in the email you guys will receive from us, it'll have updated dates, but all of your key dates and important information will be here. If at any time anybody has questions, you can reach out to us at financial.aid@acadiau.ca. I'm typically the person that answers those. You can also reach out and set up a meeting with us or phone us at 585-1543. And like Chelsea said, we're located in the basement of University Hall. Well, hopefully we will be in September. We're currently working from home, but available through Teams, email, and phone. And I think that's all for me.
Thank you both, Cheryl and Chelsea. It was very informative. And do any students have any questions for them? And if you're not comfortable using the mic, you can always put it in the chat.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you could hear me. Thanks. So if you've received a scholarship, how are they applied? Are they applied 100% to the first term or half to each term? How does that work?
So they're applied half to each term. So say, for example, if you got $1,000, we would apply 500 in September and 500 in January, and they'll just automatically go onto your account and apply to a balance.
Great, thank you.
And I see we have a chat question. Can students have 2 scholarships at a time, one entrance scholarship and another after reaching there?
Yes, you definitely can have more than one scholarship at a time. So entrance scholarships will automatically be applied, and then once you fill out the applications, we'll consider you for a whole bunch of other scholarships we have. The first application is the awards and scholarship one, and that one's going to ask you questions about like where you're from, what program you're in, activities, leadership,